There comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes that understanding women is not about reading their words, it's about reading their silence, their energy, and the emotions they're too proud or too afraid to express. Most men listen only to what is spoken. But a seasoned man, a man who has lived, loved, lost, and learned, knows that the real truth lies in what women don't say. Because women rarely ask for what they truly need. Not because they don't want to, but because they've learned the hard way that the wrong man won't understand. And the right man shouldn't have to be told. Emotional safety, consistency, maturity, leadership, appreciation, loyalty. These aren't just qualities. These are the quiet desires of a woman's heart. The 6 things she hopes a man will offer, but almost never says out loud. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where we will learn, explore, and share valuable lessons about love. In today's video, I will reveal to you 6 things women want from men but rarely say, a new perspective, helping you better understand the factors that determine a happy and sustainable relationship. Let's explore with me the secrets to building a strong and meaningful love. Before we start, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax. Let all your worries melt away, and let the messages in this video help you calm down and feel the most complete. Are you ready? Let's start now. Number 1. Emotional safety, the first thing women want but rarely speak about. There's a truth every seasoned man eventually learns, sometimes the hardest way. A woman doesn't fall in love with your looks, your money, or the image you project to the world. She falls in love with how safe she feels when she's with you. Not safe in the physical sense, though that matters. But safe emotionally. Safe to be soft. Safe to be honest. Safe to be imperfect. Safe to say what's on her heart without fearing judgment, anger, or dismissal. You see, most men misunderstand emotional safety because they confuse it with agreeing, pleasing, or overgiving. But emotional safety is not about being nice. It's about being stable. A woman wants a man whose presence feels like solid ground, the kind that doesn't shake when life does. And here's the part she rarely says out loud. Women are constantly scanning men for emotional safety. From your tone, to your patience, to the way you react when something doesn't go your way, to how you listen when she's not at her best. Every small moment tells her whether she can trust you with her heart. Let me tell you something from experience. A woman's silence, her distance, her hesitation to open up, her need for reassurance. They often have nothing to do with you not being good enough. And everything to do with her never truly feeling safe with the men she trusted before you. She's not guarded because she wants to be difficult. She's guarded because she's been dropped one too many times. So what does emotional safety actually look like? It's your ability to stay calm when she's emotional. Not shutting her down. Not telling her she's too sensitive. Not using logic as a weapon. Just listening. Grounding the moment. Letting your presence lower her anxiety, not raise it. Women aren't looking for a man who will fix every problem. They're looking for a man who won't become the problem whenever they express theirs. Emotional safety is your consistency. Your words match your actions. Your behavior doesn't swing from warm to cold. She knows who she's coming home to emotionally. Not a different version of you depending on your mood, your stress, or your ego that day. A woman doesn't need perfection. She needs steadiness. A man who doesn't disappear when things get heavy. A man who doesn't punish her vulnerability. A man who can hear uncomfortable truths without running, shutting down, or retaliating. Emotional safety is also the absence of emotional chaos. No yelling. No threats. No guilt-tripping. No games that make her question her worth. Your self-control becomes her peace. And here is the part most men never realize until it's too late. A woman cannot love freely in a place where she is constantly bracing for emotional impact. She needs to know that opening her heart will not cost her dignity. That showing her fears will not be used against her. That her softness will not be ridiculed. When she feels emotionally safe with you, she becomes more loving, more open, more feminine, more expressive. Her guard comes down. Her true self comes forward. Her love deepens in ways you didn't even know were possible. But when she doesn't feel safe, she withdraws. She overthinks. She goes quiet. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't feel protected emotionally. A mature man understands this. A Stoic man even more so. Because Stoicism teaches you to master yourself before trying to lead anyone else. In the end, emotional safety is not about being perfect. It's about being predictable in the ways that matter. Calm in the moments that count. Strong in the places where she is soft. Patient when she's overwhelmed. Steady when she's uncertain. A woman will forgive your flaws. She will forgive your past. She will forgive your mistakes. But she will never stay where she feels emotionally unsafe. And a wise man, a seasoned man, understands this. Emotional safety is not just something women want. It is the foundation upon which they decide whether love can grow. Or whether it's safer to walk away. Number 2. Consistency, the quiet strength women depend on. If emotional safety is the foundation, then consistency is the structure that holds a relationship together. And here's a truth every experienced man eventually faces. Women don't fall for intensity. They fall for consistency. Intensity is loud. Consistency is silent. Intensity impresses for a moment. Consistency earns trust for a lifetime. A woman may enjoy the passion of grand gestures, the excitement of surprises, or the thrill of chemistry, but what she relies on, what she anchors her heart to, is the man who shows up the same way today, tomorrow, and next month. Because consistency is not just about actions. It's about character. And women have a radar for inconsistency sharper than most men realize. Not because they're judgmental, but because inconsistency is where heartbreak begins. A woman watches the small things. Your tone. Your effort. Your presence. Your follow-through. Your emotional availability. Your patterns when you're stressed. Your attitude when you're tired or irritated. She pays attention to what you do on the days you're not trying to impress her. Because those days show the real you. Let me tell you what years of experience have taught me. A man can win a woman's heart with charm, but he can only keep it with consistency. Many men start strong. The sweet messages. The attention. The effort. The romantic energy. But when comfort replaces effort, their consistency fades. The calls become shorter. The tone becomes colder. The interest becomes divided. The energy becomes unpredictable. And women feel that shift instantly. Not because they're needy, but because inconsistency triggers something primal in them. The fear of emotional instability. When you are warm today but cold tomorrow, she can't trust your warmth. When you're present one week but distant the next, she questions your presence. When you say things you don't follow through on, she doubts your words entirely. But when you are consistent, your messages don't change with your mood. Your effort doesn't disappear when life gets busy. Your love doesn't fluctuate because your ego had a bad day. Your reliability doesn't collapse because of stress. That is when she relaxes into your presence. That is when she opens up. That is when she stops overthinking. Because consistency eliminates fear. A Stoic man understands this deeply. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering it. It's about not being ruled by impulses, moods, or insecurity. It's about discipline. Showing up the same way even when you don't feel like it. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect. It means being predictable in your loyalty, steady in your effort, and stable in your intentions. Let me tell you something many young men don't want to hear. Women don't leave because they met someone better. They leave because the man they loved couldn't stay consistent. He was sweet at first, then sarcastic. Attentive at first, then distracted. Loving at first, then unavailable. He showed her a version of himself that he couldn't maintain. And nothing shakes a woman more than realizing a man's best behavior was temporary. But here's the good news. Consistency isn't about doing more. It's about being solid. Show up when you say you will. Keep your word even when it's inconvenient. Maintain your tone even under pressure. Lead gently even when you're tired. Love steadily even when life tests you. Because consistency is not about impressing her. It's about creating emotional reliability. A rhythm she can trust. A presence she can lean into. A pattern that calms her heart instead of confusing it. The truth is simple. A woman will remember the man who kept showing up long after she forgets the man who only showed off. Consistency is the difference between a temporary emotion and a lasting bond. Between attraction and trust. Between being liked and being chosen. And a seasoned man. A man who has seen life, who has been tested, who has lost and learned, understands that consistency is not just a behavior. It is a form of love. A quiet, powerful, masculine love that speaks louder than words ever can. Love is not always about brilliant moments, but often about patience, listening and accompanying in every small step. It is those simple things that nurture a lasting bond. That is also the reason why I believe that every experience in love is an opportunity for us to grow and become stronger. If you feel this, please click like as a way to spread positivity to more people. And if this is your first time visiting our channel, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any lessons. I also look forward to hearing your thoughts. What is the smallest but most meaningful thing you have ever realized in love? Leave a comment below, maybe your answer will become a source of inspiration for others. Now, let's continue our journey to explore deeper perspectives right away. Number 3. Emotional maturity, the calm strength women crave. If there is one thing that separates a boy from a man, it is this. Emotional maturity. Women rarely say it out loud, but they feel it immediately. They know when they're dealing with a man who can handle life. And when they're dealing with someone who collapses under the weight of his own emotions. Emotional maturity isn't about being emotionless. It's about being in control. It's the ability to stay grounded when things get difficult. To think before reacting. To hold space for her emotions without adding your own chaos on top of hers. To respond instead of explode. To listen instead of defend. To stay present instead of shutting down. A woman wants a man who remains a mountain, not a storm. And here's the truth many men learn only after losing someone they cared about. A woman feels safest with a man who can regulate himself. Not a man who throws blame when he's frustrated. Not a man who raises his voice just because he feels unheard. Not a man who sulks, withdraws, or becomes passive-aggressive when things don't go his way. A mature man doesn't weaponize silence. He doesn't weaponize anger. He doesn't weaponize emotion. He uses them with intention. Never impulsively, never destructively, never to create fear. Women secretly observe a man's emotional patterns long before they commit to him. She watches how you handle stress. How you speak when you're angry. How you act when you're disappointed. How you treat her when you're tired. How you behave when things don't go as expected. Because these moments reveal everything she needs to know about your spirit. Any man can be loving when life is easy. But only a seasoned man knows how to stay steady when life tests him. When a woman loves you, she gives you the softest parts of herself. Her vulnerability, her fears, her insecurities, her hopes. And she needs to know that when she brings her storms to you, you won't add thunder to the sky. Emotional maturity, at its core, is the art of self-mastery. It's the discipline to pause before reacting. To breathe before speaking. To observe your own thoughts before acting on them. To choose logic when ego urges chaos. To choose compassion when pride urges distance. To choose understanding when frustration urges anger. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He knows that his emotions are his responsibility, not hers. He knows that leadership in love begins with leading himself. He knows that the moment he loses control, he loses respect, not only from her but from himself. And here's something women wish they could say without sounding harsh. They don't want to raise a man. They want to trust one. They don't want to calm you down every time life gets hard. They don't want to walk on eggshells around your moods. They don't want to decode your anger or soothe your impulses. They don't want to feel like your mother. They want partnership, not parenthood. And emotional maturity is what makes you her partner, not her responsibility. Let me tell you something only experience teaches. When a man is emotionally mature, everything about him becomes more attractive. His calm becomes magnetic. His patience becomes disarming. His presence becomes healing. His words carry weight. His silence carries strength. His reactions, or the lack of impulsive ones, earn her trust on a level few men ever reach. Because emotional maturity communicates something no compliment or romantic gesture ever could. I am a man who can hold myself. And therefore I can hold you. A woman doesn't need a man who never gets angry. She needs a man who doesn't let anger control him. She doesn't need a man who never gets hurt. She needs a man who communicates instead of collapsing. She doesn't need a man who never feels insecure. She needs a man who faces insecurity with honesty, not defensiveness. A mature man is not perfect. But he is accountable. He apologizes without excuses. He listens without interrupting. He grows without needing to be forced. He leads without dominating. He expresses emotion without drowning in it. He is stable. He is steady. He is safe. And in a world filled with impulsive men, reactive men, ego-driven men, a man with emotional maturity stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. Number 4. Leadership in love, the guidance women feel but rarely ask for. There's a misunderstanding many modern men have fallen into. They think leadership in love means control. But it doesn't. Leadership, in its truest form, is direction, not domination. It is stability, not superiority. It is presence, not pressure. And though women rarely say it directly, they deeply desire a man who knows how to lead with calm, steady confidence. Not because they're weak, but because feminine energy thrives when it feels guided, grounded, and protected. A woman wants a man who knows where he's going. Because it tells her she'll be safe walking beside him. Leadership in love is subtle. It's the little things that reveal a man's strength, not through force, but through clarity. A man who can say, "I've got this. I'll handle it. Let's solve this together. I'll take care of the plan." These simple words calm parts of a woman's heart she rarely expresses. But here's what separates a boy from a man. A boy demands control. A man commands respect, through his character, not his loudness. Women can feel the difference instantly. Leadership is initiative. It's the man who doesn't wait for her to always decide where to go, What to do. How to fix a problem. How to move forward. A woman doesn't want to shoulder every decision. It exhausts her. It pushes her into masculine energy she doesn't want to live in. She wants a man who can take the lead effortlessly. Not because she's incapable, but because she wants to relax into her femininity. Something she can only do when the man with her knows how to guide with intention. Leadership is emotional direction. A man who leads in love sets the emotional tone. When he's calm, she feels calm. When he is composed, she softens. When he communicates clearly, she feels understood. A woman can navigate many storms on her own. But what she desires, what she almost never says, is a man who becomes the anchor when her emotions pull her into deep water. A mature man doesn't fear her intensity. He steadies it. He doesn't match her emotion with more emotion. He meets her storm with stillness. This is masculine leadership. Not by dominance, but by direction. Leadership is responsibility. Not taking on everything, but taking on what matters. A man who follows through. A man who holds his commitments. A man who chooses accountability over excuses. A man whose presence feels like a solution, never a source of confusion. When a woman sees that she doesn't have to remind you, chase you, repeat herself to you, she realizes she can trust you. And trust is the currency of feminine devotion. Leadership is vision. A woman wants to feel like the man she's with has purpose. Not a perfect plan, but a direction. Ambition. Focus. Drive. Discipline. A man who knows who he is and where he's going doesn't just lead her. He inspires her. Women are drawn to men who move with intention. Men who make decisions with clarity. Men who don't drift in life, but steer their own ship with strength and conviction. Leadership is protection, not possession. This is the part men misunderstand most. A woman doesn't want to be controlled. She wants to feel safe. Safe to express. Safe to feel. Safe to trust. Safe to let go of her masculine defenses. A man who leads protects her peace. Not by limiting her freedom, but by offering the kind of presence that makes her feel secure in the world. Protection isn't, don't talk to him. Protection is, I'll make sure you never have to question whether I'm with you. In the end, leadership is love in motion. It is the quiet strength that steadies the relationship. It is the masculine energy that allows the feminine to blossom. It is the stability that turns connection into commitment. A woman doesn't stay because you're attractive, charming, or exciting. She stays because you know how to lead her with honesty, consistency, and emotional strength. She stays because being with you feels like being guided. Not forced. Not controlled. Not dominated. But guided. With confidence. With clarity. And with love. And a seasoned man, a stoic man, understands this. Leadership is not something you claim. It's something you prove through the way you move. Love is a great lesson in maturity. It challenges us with fragility, teaches us patience through waiting, and gives us strength after being hurt. Here, I don't just tell stories for you to listen to, but for you to reflect on yourself and find your own lessons. If you find it valuable, please click like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on the shares that can change the way you look at love. Now, get ready with me, because the rest will have a lot more depth waiting for you. Number 5. Appreciation, the quiet love women give but rarely receive. If there is one thing women offer endlessly yet rarely get back in equal measure, it is unspoken effort. Women love in ways most men don't even notice, not because men are careless, but because masculine and feminine expressions of love are different. A woman nurtures quietly. She supports quietly. She sacrifices quietly. She holds things together quietly. She worries quietly. She adjusts herself quietly. And because so much of her love happens in silence, her heartbreak often begins in silence too, when she feels unseen. Here's a truth every seasoned man eventually learns. A woman doesn't leave because she stops loving you. She leaves because she stopped feeling appreciated. Appreciation is not flattery. It's not saying, "You're pretty," or giving compliments only when you want something. Appreciation is recognition. Awareness. Presence. It's a man who sees the invisible things a woman does and refuses to take them for granted. And the irony is, women almost never say this out loud. They don't want to sound needy. They don't want to seem dramatic. They don't want to beg for attention. They simply hope the man they love will notice. Not everything, but something. Let me tell you something from experience. A woman blooms where she feels valued. She withers where she feels ignored. Appreciation is the sunshine her heart grows under. And when a man knows how to give it sincerely, her entire energy changes. Appreciation starts with awareness. Noticing the details. The effort she puts into her appearance. The way she pays attention to your preferences. The emotional labor she carries quietly. The way she softens her tone to avoid escalating situations. The way she thinks ahead to make your life easier. The way she supports your dreams, sometimes more than her own. These are not small things. These are signs of a woman investing pieces of her heart. An emotional investment always comes with emotional risk. A man who doesn't see her effort slowly teaches her something dangerous. That her love doesn't matter. Appreciation continues through acknowledgement. Saying things like, "I see how much you do. Thank you for thinking of me. I don't say it enough, but I appreciate you. You make my life easier in ways you don't even realize." These simple words disarm a woman's defenses. Because women don't want grand gestures every day. They just want to feel valued. Many men fear vulnerability. Thinking appreciation makes them look soft. But a man who cannot express gratitude is a man who hasn't matured. Gratitude is not weakness. It's emotional intelligence. It's leadership. It's love without ego. Appreciation is also consistency. Not just saying, "Thank you," once. But making her feel valued regularly. See, women carry emotional weight in relationships that men rarely notice. She cares for your well-being. She worries when you're stressed. She remembers your needs. She pays attention to your moods. She invests her emotions deeply. And emotional effort without appreciation becomes emotional exhaustion. This is why women suddenly change. She didn't change. She just got tired. A man with experience knows the signs before she reaches that point. He doesn't wait for her to say, "I feel unappreciated." He pays attention. He reads her energy. He notices when she becomes quieter, colder, or less expressive. These are not attitudes. These are wounds. Appreciation is also reciprocity. Meeting her effort with effort. Meeting her softness with strength. Meeting her love with presence. Meeting her loyalty with commitment. A woman doesn't want you to match her perfectly. She wants you to meet her halfway. When she feels seen, she gives more. When she feels valued, she opens up more. When she feels appreciated, she becomes even more loving, more feminine, more devoted. Women don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with recognition. With being understood, valued, and cherished. And here is the truth learned only through time and loss. A good woman will give her heart quietly. Until she realizes her quiet effort no longer matters. And once she reaches that point, it is almost impossible to bring her back. Appreciation is not just kindness. It is maintenance. It is nourishment. It is emotional oxygen for the relationship. A seasoned man knows this. A Stoic man practices this. Because he understands. A woman who feels appreciated becomes a woman who loves deeply, fiercely, and without hesitation. A woman who feels unappreciated becomes a woman who slowly disappears. Number 6. Loyalty beyond words, the one thing women feel, not hear. If there is one thing a woman never wants to question, one thing her heart cannot tolerate uncertainty in, it is loyalty. Not the kind spoken in promises. Not the kind written in messages. Not the kind posted on social media. Women want loyalty that can be felt. Loyalty in a man's behavior. Loyalty in his energy. Loyalty in the way he looks at her and treats her when no one is watching. Loyalty that is proven in the smallest decisions. The decisions that reveal who he is when temptation whispers or when ego knocks. A woman may not ask for loyalty out loud, but her soul needs it more than anything else. Because loyalty, for a woman, is not about ownership. It's about safety. It's about knowing, I am chosen. Not just today, but every day you wake up and decide to love me. Here's what a seasoned man understands. Loyalty isn't tested when things are good. It's tested when things get difficult, on your end or hers. When you're stressed. When you're bored. When you're tempted. When someone else shows interest. When the spark fades. When routine settles. When arguments happen. That's when a woman silently observes who you truly are. And here's a truth younger men often miss. A woman doesn't measure loyalty by your words. She measures it by your discipline. Loyalty is emotional discipline. It's the ability to choose her even when other options appear. It's not flirting to feed your ego. It's not keeping backup connections just in case. It's not entertaining attention you don't need. A loyal man doesn't put himself in situations where he must prove his loyalty. He simply lives in a way that eliminates the need for tests. Loyalty is behavioral consistency. Does your attitude change when another woman compliments you? Does your energy shift when you get attention elsewhere? Do you become colder at home when the world outside feeds your ego? Do you maintain your values when no one is watching? A woman feels all of this. Even if she doesn't say it. Even if she doesn't ask. Even if she acts like everything is fine. Women pick up on energy faster than men pick up on facts. And when your loyalty is steady, your energy is steady. Your gaze doesn't wander. Your attention doesn't drift. Your presence doesn't fluctuate. Women feel that. And it makes them open, feminine, trusting, and emotionally safe. Loyalty is protecting the relationship behind her back. Meaning, you don't speak poorly of her. You don't flirt to seem desirable. You don't entertain old flames. You don't give mixed signals to other women. You don't hide, delete, or manipulate. A loyal man is loyal even in conversations she'll never hear. And in moments she'll never see. That's where real loyalty lives. In the unseen. Loyalty is choosing her in every version of herself. Men often forget. A woman changes. She grows. She struggles. She softens, hardens, expands, breaks, rebuilds. Loyalty means loving her through every phase. Not just the easy ones. Not just the beautiful ones. Not just the convenient ones. Loyalty means staying emotionally present. Even when she's overwhelmed, confused, distant, or stressed. Loyalty means not withdrawing your love as punishment. Loyalty means not disappearing when she needs reassurance the most. Loyalty is openness, not secrecy. A woman feels secure when she knows. Your phone is not a battlefield. Your past is not a threat. Your conversations are not hidden. Your social life is not a mystery. Your intentions are clean. Your commitment is clear. A loyal man lives in a way that removes suspicion. Not in a way that forces her to ask questions. Loyalty is a form of masculine leadership. Because it requires discipline. It requires self-control. It requires integrity. It requires a man to stand firm against impulses, ego, and external temptation. A loyal man is a man who has mastered himself. And that mastery becomes her peace. And here is the deepest truth. A woman doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs to feel that your heart does not wander. She needs to feel that your attention is not divided. She needs to feel that the world may be full of options. But you choose her. Consistently, intentionally, quietly. Loyalty is not loud. It does not brag. It does not demand praise. It simply exists. In your actions. Your choices. Your discipline. And your integrity. And when a woman feels that kind of loyalty, she gives you something far more powerful in return. Her trust. Her devotion. Her softness. Her full feminine heart. A seasoned man understands this. The strongest love is not built on passion alone. It is built on loyalty that never wavers. Even when the world outside does. Conclusion. In the end, love is not built on grand gestures, poetic promises, or dramatic intensity. Love, the kind that lasts. The kind that strengthens over time. The kind that brings out the best in both people. Is built on quiet, steady, disciplined masculine presence. Women may not always say what they need. But they feel everything. And a seasoned man, a man shaped by experience and reflection, knows how to listen to what is unspoken. A woman wants emotional safety, because she needs a place where her heart can rest. She wants consistency, because her soul cannot bloom in instability. She wants emotional maturity, because love cannot survive chaos. She wants leadership, because direction brings her peace. She wants appreciation, because her silent efforts deserve to be seen. And she wants loyalty, because her heart cannot thrive where trust is uncertain. These are not luxuries. They are foundations. Fundamentals. The quiet pillars on which real love stands. A younger man chases excitement. An inexperienced man chases validation. But a wise man. A man who has loved, lost, healed, and learned. Chases depth. He understands that winning a woman is easy. But keeping her is an art. And that art is carved through discipline, presence, emotional strength, and values that do not shake when life tests them. Becoming this kind of man isn't about perfection. It's about mastery. Mastering your reactions. Your emotions. Your impulses. Your integrity. Because when you become the kind of man a woman feels safe with, a woman feels appreciated by, a woman feels chosen by, you don't just attract love. You nurture it. Protect it. And elevate it into something few people ever experience. This is Stoic love. Strong. Steady. Unshakable. And rare. So today's video has ended. Thank you for taking the time to watch it all. I hope you have learned valuable lessons and these shares will help you on your love journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting content in the future. I'm very grateful for your support and see you again in the next videos. Wishing you all love and happiness.